everyone, welcome to Nina Cucina. Today I am making one of my favorite lamb dishes, my pistachio crusted rack of lamb with heirloom tomato salsa. I love this for a special occasion. I even make it for myself on my own birthday. Let me tell you what I've got going on my work surface, and we'll get started right away. Now, I've got some beautiful heirloom tomatoes that I found at my farmer's market. They're absolutely gorgeous. You can see that there's many different colors. Everyone is just slightly different, which is what I love about it. It makes a beautiful, colorful presentation. And I've got some basil and some mint. I like the combination of these two for a salsa, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I've got a little bit of chipotle pepper, which is a roasted jalapeno, and it's very smoky, and it's got a good kick. That mint goes beautifully with that chipotle. And then we've got some garlic, which marries well with the basil, and a little sea salt. It's very, very simple. And we've got just a little bit of lemon juice. It's about 1/4 cup. That's about the juice of 1 lemon. Also, we have here, these are our crust ingredients. We are going to grind up these beautiful pistachios in the food processor and just add the rest of the ingredients to it. We've got some sea salt and some white pepper, some dried thyme, some onion powder, and some garlic powder, and just a little bit of nutmeg to bring up the nuttiness in the pistachios. Let's start by making the crust. So I'm going to put my pistachios into the food processor. All right, now I'm just going to add all of my spices to the food processor. I'm using the small bowl of the food processor for this. It just gives you a little bit more control. Last are the thyme and the sea salt. Now we're just going to give this a little bit of a spin. That should do it. We just want to grind those pistachios and mix all those wonderful spices into them. So now we've got sort of a crust, a crumb crust made out of nuts here. Now I'm going to just leave that set for a bit because I have just pulled this lamb out of the refrigerator, and it needs to come to room temperature. Why? Because meats that are, especially red meats, that are cooked at room temperature, they cook more evenly and you get a more succulent roast, and that's what we want. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to get started with the salsa. Got those beautiful tomatoes. Heirlooms are so much fun. They come in all different shapes and sizes. You're just going to want to remove the little stem piece of all of your tomatoes. Now, if you don't find heirlooms, don't panic. You can just buy regular tomatoes. It's fine. You can often find grape tomatoes of many different colors. Now, we're getting pretty close to the amount that I need, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my measuring cup, and let's just scoop it in there. Let's just put the rest of these in here and make sure that it looks like I'm at my 5-cup mark. And so I am. Let me just wipe down my board, and I'm going to grab a nice big bowl and we'll put together our salsa. All right, I got a nice big bowl to mix my salsa in. Let's just pour those beautiful heirlooms right into the bowl. I'm going to sprinkle my lovely hot spicy chipotle pepper all over the top. Sprinkle my sea salt. Only use sea salt. It has a lot more minerals and it has less sodium than regular table salt. And I'm just going to plop that garlic, chopped garlic, right in the center. Now, let's chop a little bit of herbs here. We want about 3 tablespoons of mint and a couple of tablespoons of basil. And those two together will just make this absolutely the best salsa you've had in a long time. It marries very, very well with the lamb. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this pile of herbs and I'm going to roll it into a ball just like that. That's going to make it easier for me to chop. And I'm just going to slice right through that ball of herbs, just like that. And you'll see that you'll get nice little ribbons. That's called chiffonade. But we're not going to use it that way. We're going to just slice right through it, go back and forth in a chopping motion. The trick to easy chopping is just to keep your knife moving. Just scrape it right off of the board and into our salsa mixture. Every last little bit. I'm going to pour my lemon juice right on top. Let's give this a little toss. Oh, such beautiful colors. That's just what I love about heirlooms. I am such a tomato fan, and heirlooms are my favorite. They're just special. I'm just going to set it aside and let all of those wonderful flavors marry while we get our lamb together. Here I have that great topping that we made. I'm just going to pull out my blade, and I am going to pour it on the bottom of this plate. Put these guys on my broiler pan there. Now you're going to notice that this little tin foil sticking out of my broiler pan, I lined the bottom of my broiler pan with tin foil. Why? Because I love to cook, but I hate to clean. And this will make cleanup a lot easier on me later on. All right, now, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to dampen my fingers in a little bit of water and rub some water on the skin. That is going to ensure that my pistachios stick well. Let's turn it over. Oh, that side stuck pretty well. Give it a little bit of water. Kids really like doing this. They get to pat the pistachios on the lamb. Now, if you find a little bald spot, you can always just dampen your fingers again and just put it on the little bald spot and pack your pistachios on. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to look absolutely beautiful when it comes out of the oven, even if you have a little spot without pistachios. There's that. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's do one more. Dampen it. And dip. Perfect, just lovely. Now I'm just going to run over to the sink and give my hands a wash. Then we're going to put this rack into a preheated 400-degree oven for about 25 minutes per pound. And that would be, for this rack, 45 to 50 minutes. I took the lamb rack out of the oven and I placed it on this plate and I've let it rest for 15 minutes. Now that's very, very important. You have to let the juices retreat back into the flesh. It can continue to cook just a little itty bitty bit, not to worry, but that is what ensures a delicious, juicy roast. Now I love taking this out to my guests just like this and showing them what kind of a gorgeous roast they're going to get. And then I bring it back into the kitchen and we're going to plate just like we are right now. So I'm going to put this over here and I'm going to just put a little bit of the salsa right in the middle. Not to worry about the drips, we can clean those up later. Now let's start with one of our racks. I am just going to go right down the middle to get me started here. Look at that. Is that not perfect? That is perfectly done. Now, I like giving a person 2 racks. Now, for a girl, I would slice that in half, but this is going to be for a gentleman, so I'm just going to place one on one side and one on the other. Once I have that like that, I like to just put doesn't matter what kind of herb, this is just a little bit of thyme on top, just to give a little bit of green. Now doesn't that look delicious? My guests are going to love this. I can't wait to serve it to them. It's absolutely beautiful, it's nutritious, it's delicious. This is a protein powerhouse. Thanks for joining me today at Nina Cucina. I'll see you next time.